Okay, just a quick impromptu video on the gear I use for my editing. Somebody from YouTube had asked me to post something on my gear, and I think they were referring to how I edit my photos. So basically, I'm using a late 2013 MacBook Pro Retina display going to with an HDMI out going into this LG IPS monitor, 27-inch, I believe. And this is a 27-inch Thunderbolt Apple display, which is the main reason why I'm sticking with Apple, because I can't get a PC computer system to work with the Apple Thunderbolt. And the reason why I like this so much is because I just have less problems with the color accuracy as I get with the PC monitors. And I do have the tools to calibrate my monitors. I use a Color Monkeyer by X-Ray, I believe. And I calibrate my monitors occasionally. I should do it more often, but if you have like an Apple display, you don't have to worry about it as much. It's very little color shift, but with the PC display, it tends to shift a lot more. So basically, when I edit a photo on the Apple display, it'll look just like how it looks here compared to like on my cell phone, which is what I want. So just real quick, I've got an HDMI here going to the second monitor, the LG IPS, and then I've got my Thunderbolt going to my Thunderbolt display. I also have another Thunderbolt plug here. So if you're working in Apple mode, you could have as many as like 2 Thunderbolts or 3 Thunderbolt displays, I believe. I can't get the second Thunderbolt display to work in PC mode. I like to work in PC mode, so this laptop has a dual boot mode where I can either boot into Apple or Windows 10. So right now I have two displays. I might in the future actually go and hook up this spare Thunderbolt display. You can get them real cheap now on Craigslist. They stopped making this a couple months ago, and they were going for like $1,000, which is like really expensive, but you can get them now for like $350 on Craigslist. At least, I got 2 of these for about $350. So since I got such a great deal on them, I might actually hook it up and just bite the bullet and work in Mac mode, which is what most people usually do anyway. But I'm just so geared toward PC, and I like using my wireless PC keyboards and mouse. I have a Logitech here, which kind of lights up at night, so if you're working in a dim light, that's kind of nice. And my monitors are actually level, so I've got a little high rise here, which you could also store your cables and stuff. My Intuos Wacom Pro tablet. Now this is an old one where the buttons here kind of suck. This is a medium-sized tablet, which is going to be shelved. I'm going to install this, the newer one with the better touch buttons. These are basically just worthless. I don't even like using this. But I felt the size of the medium was actually so large, I just prefer to use a small and upgrade it because of the buttons. So I'll install that pretty soon. It's kind of a Christmas gift. And that's basically all you really need is a good laptop. This is a 1 terabyte PCIe hard drive in here with 16 gigabytes of RAM, which suits my needs for Photoshop. If I do any like 4K editing, I'll just have to see if Final Cut Pro can keep up with it or upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade to the new 2016 MacBook Pro yet because, why? This does everything I need to do. And it's got the connections that I want. No more USB-C. So no doggles to worry about. And as you can tell, I have this down whenever I'm working. I could have it up if I wanted to and have like 3 displays, but I feel like that just takes maybe too much power. And heck, if you've got 2 large monitors, use them, right? So I usually have my editing over here, and my tools are usually on the second monitor, so I have more room. And that's how I usually edit. Speaking about power, I actually bought a separate power thing for this. So I've got the power going straight to the wall, as opposed to you could take the power from the Thunderbolt, have that plug in, and there's a wire that goes from here to the laptop. But I found that I was using so much power when editing photos that my battery would actually drain, even though it was plugged in through the Thunderbolt display. So what I did was I just went out and bought a separate power thing, or you just use the one that comes with the laptop. So don't use the power that comes with the Thunderbolt display and then piggyback that to your MacBook Pro. If you're doing heavy processing, it still drains the battery. So have a separate power input for that. So that's basically it for where I am at right now. In the future, I'll probably will hook that up and have a 3 display Thunderbolt only configuration and work in Mac mode. That's a possibility. With my YouTube channel, I'm gonna try to get better videos. So I picked up a Fossilite, and my mic's going in here. And I haven't really used it yet, but I picked up a nice mic, a Rode, with some Behringer headphones. Which, let's see now, which one did I get? I got the NT1 mic, Rode, and the Scarlett 2 Ti2 for the interface. And that takes the analog signal from the mic and it puts it to USB to the laptop, which is actually right here. So I don't have hooked up, I only hook it up when I need to. And this also provides phantom power. So if your mic needs phantom power, you just press a button and there you go. So I'll have to use, I know how to use it now. Probably need to work a little bit more on like Adobe Audition or the free program Audacity to kind of tweak my audio. Just so you get some good levels on YouTube and stuff. I have an Elgato HD60, which I bought because if I'm doing like webcam or something like that, I could hook up my DSLR camera, which is right now hooked up through a ring light. That signal coming out of the HDMI can go into the Elgato, and that will convert the signal to USB, which will get plugged into the computer here. And I'll have a webcam TV using my DSLR camera. Now you don't need that if you're using a Sony. You can use the Canon. If you don't need the Elgato, if you have a Canon camera, you could use the Canon utility program and OBS, and you don't have to use the Elgato. But what I found was when I'm using my Sony A7R2, the interface that has me tether the Sony doesn't have like a live preview like the Canon does. So in that case, I go to the mini HDMI output to the input of the Elgato, and then that will go to the computer, and then I'll have a webcam if I want to use my Sony camera. So right now it's hooked up to the Canon, and it's just easier that way. So I've got a ring light there for that. I've got a backlight right now going to that, and I've got another light way over there. So like 3-point lighting if I want to get serious with my YouTube videos. But most of my videos will be just shot using screen capture software, OBS, which is free also. So one really cool thing about my setup, which is you can't really see from here, I'll back up, is I've got, for one thing, a really comfortable chair. I just went to the office store and found the most comfortable chair I could find. And then I went to an office supply store, like, you know, they go out of business and sell desks and chairs and stuff like that. And I got the biggest desk I could fit in this room, and this is a monster desk. It's nice U-shape. I could throw a lot of stuff on there. And if you, this desk is like an investment. So you'll see this like in like executive offices and stuff. So I got paper storage there, it locks up, more cabinet space. I got my wireless printer scanner down there. I got a spare Alienware laptop. So if this computer is like rendering or something, I can just you know, turn around here and work on this laptop, which I don't use too often, but sometimes I like to record a lot of live stuff on at streaming live on the internet, like Creative Live, or I just know Creative Live is a big one. They throw out so much stuff, and they have like maybe once or twice a year Photoshop week, and all these channels are going on at the same time. So it's nice to have more than one computer streaming on the internet. Another option is since I've got a couple extra Thunderbolt displays, I just might get some cheap Mac Minis from Craigslist and have separate computers that way if I'm not using all the monitors daisy chained for on one computer system. So that's another option. So I'm trying to think what else there is. I think that's about it. So in the future, I might get some better quality videos up and editing. As far as editing is concerned, I had in the past done a lot of like swimwear and fashion type shoots. I think in the future I'm going to be doing more like portrait work. I kind of like the new work I see coming out now in the portrait world. So maybe you'll look for some new videos on that for me as I kind of learn them. And there's kind of a little echoey in this room, like my voice. So I'm going to get some acoustic foam and put them on the wall. In fact, the acoustic foam I already have over there. I just got to stick it up on the wall. This is kind of like a little mini storage area also for my office. This office is actually just off the bedroom, and it's got like a ton of books on photography, editing. Most of my education's online though, so this is kind of old stuff. And then some more stuff over there, and if I'm kind of shooting on the go, I might throw some gear in here. Most of my gear is in another room of the house, all by itself. Maybe one day I will show you that, but for right now, this is where I kind of sit and edit on the late 2013 MacBook Pro Retina display with 2 monitors, and I've been doing this for a couple years now with this setup, and I really like having 2 monitors, having a Wacom tablet. Make sure your laptop has like a PCIe hard drive and as much RAM as you can fit in there. It's good to have some nice speakers. I've got some Bose speakers right there, my right channel, and then my left channel's way over here. Down below is the sub. So since you're sitting at your computer for a long time, probably gonna have to listen to some music while you edit. And I think that's about it. Hope that helps.